Thanks for clicking in once again, guys. It's Tuesday night. Let's talk about this storm for the weekend. And it's going to be a big storm. That's one thing I am very confident in. It's going to be a big storm. Doesn't mean snow everywhere, though. I want to make that very clear. And the reason is because the cold air is going to leave ahead of the storm, okay? And then we're going to have to depend, especially in this light blue area, for cold air to get pulled back in. So the deeper the storm, the better chance that this light blue area gets snow. This is the map I put out this morning. It's preliminary. Tomorrow I'm going to update it again, so you'll see a little bit of a better perspective on what I think is going to happen. But up here, Vermont, Western Connecticut, Maine, you're good. Down here, going into North Jersey, say that it's hard to say here, but if you looked at, say, central Morris County to the west up into Sussex County, I like the chance of rain turning to snow. I do. I think that's going to happen. Down here, it's going to be tough. I mean, this light green zone pretty much is a crapshoot, but I would bank on mostly rain. Long Island, New York City, Cape Cod, rain. So that's what I'm thinking of right now. Now let's go through the factors so I don't get too long here with this video. What's going to happen is, and I talked about this last night, we have a primary low, and this is on Friday morning. A primary low that's going to be developing out to the west, okay, and that low is actually going to be bringing in warm air. You can see the warm air as indicated by the non-blue colors coming in. So you can see here comes that low out here. It comes in and it brings in this warm air. So that's the problem. We don't really have a pressing high pressure initially to hold this cold air in, which is okay if the storm deepens. So moving back here to the surface map, and this is all taken from today's GFS model, as this develops, another secondary low is going to develop along the coast. And if we look at the 18,000 foot view of what's going on, you could see this is energy in the atmosphere. It's called vorticity, it means spin. So you could see where basically there are disturbances aligned. So here's that initial upper level low that's going to be out to the west, and here's the surface low down here. Now what's going to happen is this is going to dive into this, and we're going to have a full phase system along the eastern seaboard. And when you get a phase system, what I mean by that is you have a northern branch here merging with a southern branch there. That's where you get big storms. And you can see this actually closes off. What I mean by close off is it's fully combined, and you get that circular, strong upper level low feature. And if we go to the surface here, you can see what that looks like. Very big storm. That's a 981 millibar low. And notice it's showing rain for New Jersey and rain into Pennsylvania with spots of blue. So this far out, what the model's trying to show you is, okay, cold air can get wrapped into this storm, especially if this thing deepens to 973, which is a ridiculously strong winter storm. That's stronger, or it might be just around what the big blizzard was last year that missed us and hit Boston. Rest assured, I would be very, very concerned about cold air working in and turning areas that I showed you in my map here to frozen precipitation in that light blue zone. So that light blue zone is key. That's what the trends are going to really bank on. Now, I can show you the ensemble, which takes this model and tests it for error, runs it a bunch of different times, and changes the inputs. And if you look at the ensemble here, okay, you can see it's going to have a low pressure center in a very similar spot. It's a 984 millibar low, and that's an average of many different ensemble members of that operational. So there's a lot of agreement here on a strong storm. Okay, the European model shows the same thing. If I show it here, this is the European model, a 980 low. The Canadian model is a little bit more strung out. It doesn't really steal the energy enough from the primary system here. So this would be a scenario that actually would not snow at all for that light blue zone. But overall, major storm. This is going to be a major storm. Someone's going to get around the foot of snow, especially up in here, southern Vermont. And keep checking in, guys, because I'll have more updates as the time goes on.